Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pre-Match.
Muti.
There we go. We're slowly getting there. I know Settle says we don't have a ritual for Pre-Match Muti, which is ironic considering that Muti is all about the ritual. But here we go. We're getting better. Gentlemen. As you can see, we've got in my top right-hand corner, today I'm a bit slow. I'm just looking for their names. Where did their names go? Oh, there we go. We've got Goalloungetv in the top right-hand corner. We've got Selo, Lolo, Kale, a.k.a. interviewee or interviewer of Lucas Radebe, which you can touch on. And then we've got Nick Stother, the man with the UEFA A license, of course. Gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
How's it been?
It's
been a while. It's been a while.
It feels like forever, guys.
Yeah.
It feels like forever, guys.
Selo, don't you want to touch on the interesting news there? Guys are giving you literally the runway to run with.
I don't know, man. Man. Goalloungetv had an interview with a legendary player on Tuesday, early evening, late afternoon at 5 p.m. So I was the lucky guy who drew the short straw to interview Lucas Radebe, the chief. What a great guy. I had an hour-long interview with him. Hopefully we'll get a playback for those who couldn't watch it. I think obviously the time wasn't ideal for some, but hopefully we can get a playback for that. But yeah, guys, great guy, Lucas. Telling us all the stories about himself, how did he move from Kaizer Chiefs to Leeds United, and then also talking about some of the experiences at Bafana, and also just talking about his life in general as well. So very cool guy. Claudio was there as well, so he's also met the guy. Claudio was hard on him when I got there. He was doing some pictures and so on and so forth, and Claudio was tough, guys. It's tough to work with Claudio, guys. But the end product is amazing. That's why.
Yeah, man, you must know. I like being a player on the field and one off the field. You got to take this stuff seriously. Goalloungetv, you want to touch on how Fresh Legs is going and everything else? Anyone want to join the academy or what's going on there? Your sessions that you got going there.
Yeah, no, I mean they're going well. I think the kids are. I think the most important thing for me is that they're enjoying them, and I think it's just. I think it's just a new approach that we're trying as well. In terms of the youth development in let's say Pretoria at the moment, but yeah, I think the kids are enjoying it. They nagging me for the matches, but we'll start that coming in March. But yeah, I mean, anyone who wants to join, got kids. I do the kids from 4 years old to 13, and yeah, if you want to join, just contact me. You'll see our contact details there on Twitter. Wherever you see Goallounge, the contacts will be there, and yeah, you can get in. You got a younger brother, younger sister, yeah, bring them in. Ready to
coach. He's got fancy footwork, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, please feel free to join in there with Fresh Legs. Our coach Wonga, aka the Denganet, and then Nick. You want to touch on what you're busy with at the moment?
Yeah, we've got something cool that's hopefully launching within the next 2 weeks. Touch wood. We open in a football arena, five-a-side football arena. Details will follow very shortly, but the name of the arena will be called XP Arena. It will be
official. It will be official, ladies and gentlemen.
It's got a name.
It's got a name. It will be called XP Arena.
I thought it was going to be called St. James. I thought it was going to be called St. James's Park Arena.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be working closely with Goalloungetv to bring you guys the best possible product. We're going to be based in Fourways, Johannesburg, for the football lovers. There'll be social leagues. There'll be sort of soccer schools, corporate events. So yeah, and there'll be a cool bar for you guys to come and watch your teams hopefully lose against Newcastle United. So yeah, but we welcome everyone. We welcome all fans of all clubs. And yeah, if Newcastle win, you just have to buy me a drink.
And let's also be Let's be Nick. You got to tell the people why you're excited to be working with Goalloungetv. It's because Goalloungetv is black and white. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Claudio.
Otherwise.
So let me just start. Before that, I was about to I didn't want to jump the gun. I didn't know if I was allowed to say that, but yeah, we are working with Goal Lounge. I'm very excited about that. It's something. Goal Lounge is close to my heart, and I think for me, there's no better collaboration in terms of a growing brand themselves or ourselves. And yeah, black and white did obviously contribute. But yeah, in terms of what we are doing, I don't see, I've watched, guys, I don't want to downplay anyone. I won't mention any names, but what we're doing is the best on the continent. I think I told you that, Claudio, the other day. Claudio, you will run with that. Maybe our CEO, sort of tells us to keep our legs firmly planted on the ground until we get there. But only bigger and better things are coming our way as a team. So 100%, I'm excited. Nick. This is just another branch for us, and I can't wait to have the team there. Bring your friends, and it should be quite exciting.
Yeah, and you forgot to say hi to Pums. That's an important one, Nick. You missed that one. So
yeah, listen, Pums, you say welcome back to me, but you also went on a bit of a tangent. We didn't see you, so I think over December we were contemplating, and I actually mentioned that you are the head of sport at a school in Joburg. So I had suspected you were on your holidays and you didn't have time for us. So we also missed you, bro. So welcome back.
Yeah. And then, of course, welcome, Vada, for joining us yet again. We always love having you. Yeah, and you best believe there's going to be a lot of Villa conversation. And let's just jump into it, gents. We might as well start. We're going to kick off with the transfer window review. I don't know if who wants to begin. Bonga probably wants to be a bit more silent for the time being because we were going to end off with an Arsenal sort of blow.
I've got nothing to say. What is there to say about Arsenal? Nothing happened.
Listen,
we just opened our gates for people to leave. We opened the exit.
You're like, you can go, and while you're going, take 7 million pounds as a severance package.
And you never and you never replace. That's what I don't understand. You never replace.
We're just thinking about the big names that went out. Oh, I think I've just looked at the list here. I think Arsenal brought in. I'm just looking at quickly, roughly like four people from off, and they were coming from loans. Oh, 4 people coming from loans. I think they also bought one guy as well. But they were, I think there's a Susa Lino who was bought from West Brom. But that's 4 people that have come in. And so we don't even know these guys. That's the thing.
Did you guys see that picture of Edu smoking a fat cigar on deadline day, making a braai? He's just there like, yeah, we're okay, yeah. We're okay.
Like,
my
honestly,
job is showing people the door. You know what they say when they're reaching for exits, Wonga? It's because the house is on fire. That's the only time people looking for emergency exits. So I don't know, Silo, what you think about that comment?
Oh, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, guys. Like Arsenal, guys. I just want to talk about the fact that, guys, they are walking wounded. How can you have your captain gone, cool, a striker, then you don't? ENQUIRIES is on a 6 left. It's got 6 months left. Like I said, it's also got 6 months left, I think, or 18 months left. Then in the midfield, they've got Xhaka, Partey, and Lukonga only, basically. Okay, Al Nini as well, but Al Nini's still trying to win AFCON. So, who are you playing, guys? Are you signing? Can I also put in my CV there, put in the video?
They'll take you quick.
Never missed a penalty. Never missed a penalty.
And just in terms of Arsenal's situation, like I was saying now, you've let Aubameyang go. Granted, he hasn't played in the last couple of weeks or say 2 months, but in terms of you've got Lacazette and Nketiah who's about to leave. I look at a team like Man United, a team like Arsenal, and a team like West Ham, all firmly in the top 4 race, but they didn't really take the bull by the horns and say, listen, we want it. There was an opportunity. I honestly think those 3 teams have missed a trick in terms of trying to get into the top 4, because the only team that really strengthened at the last minute was Spurs, and they're probably in the driving seat now if you want to look at it, because they have no, but top 4 race. Talking about the top 4 race. I'm throwing top 4.
Sorry, I was just saying only strengthened. My bad.
No.
So but you are
those 4 teams specifically.
You're not top 2.
You're right. Top 2.
You solidified.
You're top 2 race. You're a top 2 race.
So I think for me, I'm also, I think this is the best opportunity. I'm going to shift away from Arsenal, but obviously this goes for West Ham as well. I don't think they're going to get a better opportunity to, if they went and got 2 or 3 quality players, while the likes of Arsenal and Man United are sleeping. They had an opportunity. Wonga, the same for your team. How can you let Aubameyang go? Yes, regardless of what shit he's caused.
No,
Why don't you replace the player? Or why don't you get rid of Nketiah, get the money, and then go buy someone? I just don't understand it.
Like Nick, for me, I agree with you. Number one, and I stand for me. I think Arteta was correct in not allowing, obviously not allowing Aubameyang to play. I mean, in terms of what the discipline that he breached that he had, and it wasn't the first time. There was a time, I think it was the year he came, or I think the year after, but it was, I don't know if much of Arteta was there. So
he
Arteta
was
was,
late.
I think
He
Arteta
was
was
late
there.
for a
No,
game.
Yes.
He said he was stuck in traffic.
That was last
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, but he was late. He got late, and it's not the first time. Even before he came to Arsenal, apparently he was late for a meeting at Borussia Dortmund, and they said, I can't remember who the coach was then at that time, but he said it was a very important meeting, and they were still doing the transfer with Arsenal, and he said if the transfer didn't get through, he didn't see Aubameyang playing. I mean, in the team, but the transfer went through, and Aubameyang came to us. But I mean, now you make a mistake, right? Cool. Then now the Arteta now makes you captain after those mistakes. I mean, it's forgiven, it's forgotten.
Yeah, because
And
he
then
won
now
you the FA Cup, and then after that, they gave him the armband and a new contract with £350,000.
Exactly.
So, like
So,
for me, the
exactly.
question I asked Wonga is, he was excluded before AFCON, so that was more than a month ago. They knew
100%.
that they were going to get rid of him. Why wait to the last second of the transfer window to decide, okay, how are we going to offload this player? Oh no, we're going to spend £7 million to get him off our books, and then he can go. So
don't replace
they
him.
knew at least 6 weeks ago, get a replacement in, and then say, listen, okay, I'm done. We're done. We'll even pay for you to go. So if you wanted to pay £60 million on a striker, it's actually going to cost you £67 million because you got to pay Aubameyang off. I honestly think the way Arsenal have handled it looks very mediocre, and it looks like maybe someone wanted to keep him. Maybe a guy like Edu, or maybe an Arteta, or someone in the board who wasn't allowing it to go as soon as it should have been. He hasn't played. He hasn't played since the middle of December. So
but for me, that's the thing. I think I agree with all your points, Nick. Even I was the opinion, Keita's not signing a contract. Okay, look, you're running out of time. Let the guy go. Let's try to bring other people. But I mean, I think Arsenal as well. I don't know what the heck Edu is doing. I don't know. It's not the first poor transfer window that we've had, and. Now with I think Arsenal was so hung up on that. Is it Vlusan? Is it, I don't know, the guy that signed for Juventus?
The guy that
now.
went to Juventus,
Vlahovic.
Yes, that's him, Vlahovic. They've been wanting him. They've been on his tail, and I mean, it was in, I think it was in December when he said that he literally said that he was happy at the club, happy with what's happening there. And for me, if that's his stance, sure, guys, look for someone else. You can't throw all your cards on one guy.
One person.
You
one
can't.
Person, yeah.
And look, it's failed them, and now we're gonna get hit hard. It's this. I don't see us top 4 with the squad we have now, unless we pull something. There's no way.
And
Unless
I'll say it again.
There's no way.
I say it again, and I even think Man United had an opportunity to strengthen. You go and buy one or two players. Yeah, look at the player that we've just bought now from Lyon. He played for Brazil the other night. He got a
midfielder.
I'll call him Bruno because I can't pronounce that name. Maybe I need Claudio to say it.
Claudio, go and say it. I know Claudio wants to.
I'm gonna have to say his name first. Give me a second.
Guimarães. It's the same name as a club. Guimarães.
Guimarães. Yeah.
Guimarães. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Guimarães.
I know Claudio's very quite. He just wasn't ready for it.
But all I'm saying, Celo, now there's another Bruno in the league, my friend. There's another Bruno in the league, and he's coming for your Bruno.
Nah, he's a good player. I won't lie. He's a very good player. I think that's probably. I want to say, probably yeah, we can say the signing of January in terms of no, actually, I think Luis
No ways.
Diaz.
How many signings? There's so many ties.
Yeah, no, Luis Diaz is actually the signing of the window. I
But
think.
is
from
he?
Liverpool,
But
by
is he
Liverpool.
though? But I mean, if context for us, long term, yes. But I mean, right now, impact. Like if we look at this,
Okay,
the
no.
teams and the signings right now, who's the signing for this January transfer window? Was the one? I mean, if you go to Aston Villa, you spoke about Villa there. But
Guimaraes
you spoke about
or
Villa,
Coutinho.
Coutinho, Lucas Digne. There's some more options
Yeah, I
here.
think
I don't know.
but this Bruno, I've read a lot about him. I've never seen him play, but to be honest with you, the teams that have been interested in him, I'm just so complimented that Newcastle were in for him and we got him. So in terms of stature, Coutinho and this Bruno might be sort of on the same level, simply because Bruno is an up and coming Brazilian, similar to Coutinho, but he's 24. Coutinho is a little bit older. This is a player that we can actually build our project around.
You can.
It's not like we bought
definitely.
a couple of the more experienced players, but if we go kick on next season and spend another £100 million or £150 million, he can actually be the core of that team.
Yep.
Similar to how City had a Yaya Toure around the earlier days of Man City, and he stuck it through. So I'm excited because of the backing that we have. But I mean, arguably Coutinho, Gerrard getting Coutinho is an incredible move for Villa, and him scoring on debut, was just obviously second to none in terms of an appearance. But this Bruno, I'm excited to see. And what was quite nice is he made a social media. His PR team, it looks pretty good, and then he made a social media post with a video sort of content that they put through. At first, part of the videos is an article that says Arsenal set to secure Bruno, and I don't know if that was a dig at Arsenal because Arsenal.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I don't know if Arsenal never paid the money, or maybe they thought he wasn't good enough, or they didn't want him. But then it ends off with him in a Newcastle shirt, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here, guys, I'm here." And then he goes and scores. He gets an assist for Brazil the next day, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, it's what out of how many years you guys finally had action? No Mike
Now,
Ashley transfer.
But listen,
coming in.
it is a little bit. It is a little bit of a sort of weird situation where you have a signing like Bruno who's coming in, Brazilian international, and then you signing Chris Wood in the same window. So I don't know. It's like but it's. I understand. It's where we are at the moment. It's where we are at the moment in the context, but. You wouldn't put those two on the same field together in the same shirt.
Never,
it's like it's just a bit strange. I mean, I've seen a few gifs where or memes where it's like Bruno's always wanted to play with Dan Burn and Wood up front. You're like, come on, like it's quite funny, but. In terms of, I'm going to close off for Newcastle because no one else is speaking, but I think we've done good business.
Talk about. Obviously, I think you guys signed Matt Target on loan as well. I think that's
Matt Target,
which we spoke about in the group. Remember, because he was Player of the Year at Aston Villa.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a strange one. I don't know if he wasn't Gerrard's cup of tea, but I've done a bit of research on him. He's had sort of a good youth career at Southampton, went to Fulham on loan and did well at Villa, it looked like. And then obviously they've got Digne now. So, it's an opportunity for him to play more regularly and, kick on. I think I wouldn't say we've sorted our backline out, but we've got a left back, a right back, and then we've got Dan Burn, who's been a consistent performer for a Brighton side that's continually improving, although he has fallen out of favour there. He is a Geordie boy. We released him. I think that's something that everyone needs to know. We released him when he was 15 or 16. So he came back willingly. He wanted to play for his boyhood club again. But if I may just touch on the Sven Botman and the Diego Carlos ordeal, and even I'll even add a Jesse Lingard in there. This situation, and Claudio, you touched on it a while ago. Clubs are going to take advantage of Newcastle now, as they have done with Chelsea, PSG, and Man City in the past.
Even Man United,
back in the day. The amount of goalpost moving that has happened in this window for Newcastle is ridiculous. Like, they would say, we want this fee. We're like, okay, cool. We've got the money. Boom. And then they come back with something else. So like Jesse Lingard, it worked out that if we were going to get him on the initial proposal, he was going to cost £1 million a game. And then they were like, guys, you're taking the piss here. You're literally taking the piss. Then it turned around. They said, okay, we'll lower the fee and he will come. I think it was a £3 million loan fee. And they didn't want to release him to West Ham because West Ham's a contender with you guys, because it would be
Correct.
stupid to.
Correct. For top 4, yeah.
But then
Arsenal
obviously
do
we're
that
not
once.
going to talk about this anymore. But Mason Greenwood goes
Man
and does
United
what he
league.
Mason Greenwood goes and does what he does, and then they're short of a play, and I think that ultimately affected the whole situation. And I'd love to go in for Jesse in the summer. Hopefully we can finish strong, and yeah, I'm happy with our business, guys. I'm happy with our business.
I think with that whole Jesse Lingard issue, man, yeah, the coach had given his blessing, because the coach said, "Hey, listen, you can leave, because you want to get more game time. You want to." Because apparently, what happened was the press conference. He said that Jesse Lingard 3 weeks ago didn't want to leave, right? And then a week ago, he decides, okay, no, actually, guys, I want to leave. And then Ranić is like, okay, cool, you want to leave, you can go, and you're allowed to go. Obviously, then the board is the one that's going to be obviously trying to get as much money as possible. There was relegation clauses. Apparently, if you guys survive, we get like a little bonus or something that you survived or something. So they were trying to get as much possible. Whereas Jesse's going to leave for free. Let him go. His wages are off our payroll, and then you maybe get a £3 million.
But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't, because Newcastle, I'm telling you now, would have paid the money up front for him. For
you would have sold him. You don't think it's got to do with the player himself? You think it's the player still lingering, going, maybe in the light of what's happened with another United player, maybe there's a position potentially opening up towards the end of the season.
Listen,
also, shout out to LG. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Hey, how's it, LG? How's it, Bobby Bobo? My favorite goalkeeper. But no. So the thing is as well is that Ranić was already planning for Jesse Lingard not to be there. Hannibal Mejbri, who plays for Tunisia, is back from AFCON. He's in the squad already. He's in the squad. He's being integrated into the squad. He's going to be with the squad till the end of the season. So he's already has someone who plays a similar position to Lingard from the academy, our best player in the academy, who's going to come in that number 10 support, type of position. So we don't need Lingard, you know what I mean? Yes, what can you do, man? But at the end of the day, I wish I just got a defensive mid. Obviously I can have my little 10 minutes in the sun that Nick just had. Man United didn't want to sign any player because they're scared that any player they sign won't be to the liking of the new manager or the potential new manager. How can you not sign a player because it's not to the liking of a potentially new manager? Any defensive mid any defensive mid that we're linked with would have improved our defensive mid area. Situation of defensive mid where our only real defensive mid is Matic, and then now we're trying to make who's this? We're trying to make McTominay into a defensive mid. We're trying to mold him into a defensive mid. Yes, he could be molded into one, but we need someone who's there, who can play the position, who can allow Bruno's and your Pogba's to express themselves. But they said they didn't want to sign any players that the coach might not need in the summer, and then also. Obviously, Martial and Donny leaving on loan. They didn't leave with buy options because as well, they want them to come back so the new manager can assess them, and maybe the new manager might want to use them as well. And then Amad Diallo went to Rangers, already scored on debut as well. So it's just a mess, man. But guys, what do you expect from a club like Man United? It's always been a mess for the last since Fergie left, so it'll continue to be a mess.
Could be worse.
I mean, just with regards to this potential sort of manager coming in, do you definitely think so? Rangnick being a full-time manager is definitely not on the cards. The prime target is Pochettino. That's who they're after. That's who they want.
No, we don't want Pochettino.
I heard they do. I heard yes.
I heard it's a done deal.
I'm saying we, the fans, don't want Pochettino.
What?
You see, now you're gonna land up in a situation Everton are in.
No, I don't want Pochettino.
They got a man at Everton who doesn't know how to run a football club, who's got the money, who tries to do something and then backfires because the fans then tell the guy how to do something and then he's confused. So, guys, Man United fans also need to tread lightly here.
No, guys, we don't want Pochettino, guys. We want Ten Hag, guys. We want Ten Hag. We want Ten Hag to come and take over.
I don't know of any Dutch managers that have done well in the Premier League.
That's also true.
No, come on, guys. Let's leave
which
that.
Dutch managers? Van Gaal, De Boer got sacked after losing his first 7 games at
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Yes, that's them.
Koeman-
That's them, guys.
Koeman was
Koeman did well.
okay.
Good. Southampton did well. Southampton.
Yeah, but he did well. What?
Southampton.
Finished 10th. You want Man
No.
United to finish 10th?
No, he finished number 8. Number 8 with Southampton. Southampton finishing 8th is good. Isn't it that good,
yeah,
Claudio? He
It's
did well.
better than fighting relegation. He didn't do too badly,
Come on.
but he had
did-
some
we
good
did well,
players. I
South-
mean, Liverpool signed. To be fair, Liverpool signed all his players afterwards. So
Exactly,
he had some good
because
players.
he also molded them nicely. So yes, they haven't done that amazingly well in England. But I would like to get Ten Hag, man. Let's get Ten Hag. Pochettino, yes, I think he is a good alternative option as well. But I want Ten Hag first option, man. I want him to come through there. Someone different, someone who's guys. I just want someone, because what's going to happen is that when Pep leaves, Ten Hag's going to go to Man City, and then they're just going to just keep on.
You know, they say that Ten Hag is like a package deal with Mark Overmars. You know, Mark Overmars, director of football.
Two in one.
Sporting director, yeah.
What happens to Ragnick?
Nah.
Then what happens to the guy Ragnick you've just given
Nah,
a 3-year
I'm okay.
contract to?
I don't want a former Arsenal man running my club. Mark Overmars can go to Arsenal.
You know what the funny thing about Arsenal is they got so many. Like if you look at Vieira now, we were worried about him beginning of the season. He's showing his worth, and you've got
I
guys
told
like
you.
that out
I
there.
told you guys. I told you he was going to do well. I said it.
But he looks the part as well.
He does.
When you see him on the side versus an Arteta, who are you more comfortable with going, hey, this guy
Vieira.
knows what he's doing?
Vieira.
Yeah.
And also when you're a player, who are you going to listen to more? Vieira or Arteta?
Yeah,
Vieira, guys.
100%.
Arteta's keeping the seat nice and warm there for Vieira. But before we move on to that sort of topic and the blue circus in Liverpool, I just want to touch on the one player that we should talk about this transfer window, and hopefully it's a game changer for his sort of career. Christian Eriksen going to Brentford, gentlemen. Wonga Denga, what are your thoughts there?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, hey man, look, I think it's good that he's actually that he's actually playing still. I mean, I think people thought he was dead and done. I mean, look, he's played a lot, and I'm pretty sure he wants to. He's had a good career, but I mean, you know, I mean, everyone that's played, I mean, for something to happen like that and not play again can be a bit heartbreaking. But yeah, I'm just happy he's playing. For Brentford, I think that's a good add-on for them. But at the moment, I mean, they started the season high. They're playing quite horribly at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult for him. It will be difficult for him. It's not gonna be easy getting into that team, and I don't think it'll turn things around for them. I just think it's just good for him to be playing. Let's see what happens. But I mean, there's a lot.
So Wonga, do you think that Brentford will be pulled into the relegation fight?
They continue the way they are. They could. I mean, they're playing quite. I mean, they've been losing.
Yeah.
They've
only won one.
Heavy.
They've only won one in the last 5.
Yeah, they've been losing. I mean, now before it used to be like when they beat Arsenal. I mean, I can't remember what they beat after that. But they were solid. I mean, they scored 3 against Liverpool, but now it's the complete opposite. They're looking like a championship squad. It's not looking like a team that wants to stay up again. But yeah. We'll see what
on the Eriksen thing. To be honest, I think he's got this Premier League to try and get into the World Cup for his national side, and then after that, I think he's done. I don't think he'll be playing after that. Personally speaking, that's just the vibe I'm getting.
No, I think he'll continue to play, right? But then I think maybe he might move to someone who was saying that someone was saying elsewhere that they think that he'll move to a league that isn't as intense physically intense. So that's what someone was saying, that maybe he'll move to a league that's less physically intense after the World Cup. So that could happen.
He can go back to Denmark then.
Yeah, maybe he can go. He's never really played in Denmark.
Bro, those guys are physical. Hey, Denmark, they play.
He's only played.
You don't know, but they play.
He's from the Ajax Academy. He's from the Ajax Academy. So whatever team he played for in Denmark before going to Ajax as like a teenager, he could possibly, or even he could move to the States, guys. You know, the States also. It's, you know, he can just relax there on the field.
Just, we want to touch here on Pum's saying, for example, Aaron Ramsey, loan to Rangers, what a waste. Another Arsenal sort of situation, yeah.
Guys, someone could have taken him, man.
But he didn't want to go anywhere.
Why is there waste?
He had 4 offers from the Premier League.
Newcastle, didn't Newcastle?
Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Everton. But that was pre Lampard, so I don't know why. I understand he rejected Burnley, but I don't understand. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. His claim was that he wanted to play European football.
But Rangers
luck to
lost.
him.
They got thumped to Celtic, and now Celtic
Yeah.
But
looks
you see
like
how
they're going to win
much?
the
I
league.
don't know.
So.
Do you think it was a question of money? I mean, Juventus is getting paid quite a bit.
Juventus are paying everything.
Yeah, to go.
Oh,
They
is
should
it?
go to Rangers.
Oh, it's a loan.
Everything.
It's a loan. Ah,
That's
Oh,
why
so
there's
that's
a big.
Oh, so that's why. That's
Huh?
what it is then. That's
Yeah,
what
but
it is.
there's a big uproar. There's a big uproar in Scotland because they're pretty much saying that in general loans are like, you split the wages at some point. It might be 20/80 or 50/50. In this case, it's very close to 100% from
Sure, that's
Juventus.
crazy,
And
guys.
what they're trying to say, and he's on a big contract. I think he's on like 400,000 euros.
He's
or
the
That's
top-
how
he's top-
desperate.
he's-
That's how
he's
desperate
top-
Juventus were
he's
to
top
get him
10.
off their books.
£100,000 pounds.
He's top
Yeah.
10 highest paid in Serie A. Hey? So
Yeah.
Really?
So
Because
I
is that
think
not then the money talking then? That's the money
No.
then, because he had all these suitors that wanted him. He's now
Yeah.
going to Rangers because Juventus have gone, look, we really want you
Yeah.
out. We can pay everything and just get out of our hands.
But how
Yeah.
does that make sense if you continue to pay for someone's salary but he's not at your club? That doesn't help Juventus in any way.
yeah,
No,
it
it doesn't
doesn't
help
help
the
them.
coach. It helps the
It helps
coach.
the
It helps,
coach,
you know,
yeah.
the coach, because now he doesn't have
Good
this bad
coach.
apple in around lingering,
Yeah.
causing issues. So it
But
does
then
help the
also
coach.
they if you look at it from the Scottish League's perspective, there was callers into Talksport the other day that I was listening, and they were saying, well, is this really fair? Like they were putting the question out there, like Rangers are not paying much,
Anything.
if anything, and they're
I
getting
understand, yeah.
sort of a
Let me find out
world
about
class
this.
player, if you want to call it. Like it might not be as fair as to the rest of the Scottish League that have minimal money, barring probably Celtic. So it was a bit of a strange one. I never saw it come in, but good luck to him.
All right, so I got one for you. You know the player, the so-called Sergio Aguero replacement for Man City, Julian Alvarez. They've needed a striker for how long? You know a lot more about the player. What do you want to tell everyone about this signing?
Best young striker in Argentina right now. He's been on fire for River Plate. So yeah, Man City have done a great signing there. Man United were briefly linked with him in December. He's gone back on loan to River Plate, so I think he's definitely going to be one for the future. I think similar to like a Gabriel Jesus when they signed him. Obviously like a diamond in the rough type of player who's doing well in their home country's league. But definitely someone they're looking forward to going forward. Shoots with both left and right, which is obviously quite nice in terms of that. And similar to like Aguero's, stocky, short, type of thing, low center of gravity type of thing. So it's a great signing for Man City. Obviously looking forward. I wonder what it means for them at the end of the season. Do they sign a prolific striker like a Harry Kane or a Erling Haaland? When they've signed
that's a good question. But I liked your comparison with Jesus, like the Jesus sort of comparison. Bringing in a young South American player is going to have time to adapt. They're already doing it without a striker, so it will give him the affordance needed to, get into the mold, into the adaptation. So that's a fantastic sort of comparison. So watch out for him. Overall, gentlemen, before we move over to the next topic, big wins for clubs. Obviously, Newcastle's up there. Which other club had the best transfer window?
Aston Villa, 100%.
Aston Villa, guys.
Yeah, the Aston Villa strength this squad. I think now you'll see them climbing slowly. Question is how far will they go?
I think Dele Alli is a good signing for Everton. I
You
think
reckon?
there's something in that. But yeah, in terms of the best window, you'd probably give it to a Newcastle or a Villa. In terms of the business that they've done, and obviously the Gerrard effect is clear to see. So it will be quite exciting to see what or how all this transpires. And there's a lot of stories at all the sort of parts in the league. At the top of the league, top four race. You've got that sort of mid end, and then you got the relegation battle. Which, if Newcastle beat Everton, pulls them right into the scrap, right into it. There'll only be one.
See that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Guys, just a quick question. Which 3 teams do you want to get relegated, guys?
No,
Want or will?
Oh, so am I jumping the gun, Claudio?
Yeah, you were jumping the gun, but it's fine.
Sorry.
Let's ask that question.
Sorry.
Who should get relegated? Who do you think
'Cause-
is going to get relegated? Not want to get relegated.
Guys, want, we also
Sure.
Burnley. And should and is and want is the same thing this time, guys. For once,
Guys, what happened to Burnley? Didn't they have like a rich investor coming in there and no money was spent?
Yeah, but he was like a con artist. He was a con artist, from what I understand.
But
Have
also
you,
there's
seen
a-
the swindler?
Hector.
Have you guys seen the thing on Netflix, the Tinder swindler?
I need to watch it, man. People are crying about
Is
it.
it
Man.
new?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just come out.
Yeah,
That's
this
Oh,
week.
that's
what
I'm
that
gonna watch
Burnley
it.
owner was
I'm gonna
doing. He
watch
was
that
swindling
tonight.
those guys.
But
He
you
swiped
guys,
right on Burnley, and they said, "Cool, they accepted," and now he's chowing them. Hey,
but you guys must
Um,
watch. You guys must watch Neymar's documentary, man. If you haven't watched it.
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
a fan. Eh? I
Yeah.
don't know if I
No,
can do
no,
that.
no, no, no.
So
It'll shed some light on his dad's influence, and I have big respect for Neymar Senior. Yeah, he's a proper man.
So, guys, let's get back to the main question.
Sorry, relegation.
Relegation, I'm going to give you my three. It's going to be Burnley, it's going to be Norwich, and it's going to be Watford. I think Roy
gonna say
Hodgson
exactly.
just going
Love it.
into the sort of back into the job. That man's past his sell-by date like
Yeah.
10 years ago, bro. Come on.
No,
I'm surprised
30.
he's even walking, man.
Walking, yeah, walking. bro,
Circus
say it.
clubs, but there are a couple of clubs in the Premier League that are run like an absolute circus, and they're surviving. So it's bizarre.
Yeah.
And can we remove Pums from watching this show just because he said Newcastle?
Boom's-
man.
Boom's got
man.
a goal on shirt, and now he keeps firing. He knows what to say. He knows. We left him a little note, just say, bang that drum on the Newcastle front. But yeah, okay, so do we all agree with Nick? I don't know if there's
Yeah,
many
guys.
opposing ones.
I think
Newcastle,
we should-
Everton, possible?
I don't think we should argue with Nick on that, guys. I think I agree. Watford, Burnley, and Norwich.
Listen, I do think if Lampard doesn't hit the ground running, because if you look at Everton's form, they are in terrible form.
They're in big,
So
big
if,
trouble.
if he doesn't hit the ground running, so if he starts with like a loss and then a draw and then another loss, they're right in it, and oof, then it becomes.
But
then it becomes
wait, we're gonna
shaky,
get to we're gonna get to the sort of Lampard discussion because he is officially the new Everton manager. But overall, which club in the transfer market had the poor transfer market?
Arsenal, guys. Arsenal.
Spurs, the London clubs. Spurs also didn't have a great one, man. Let's be
No,
honest.
but they
Spurs
signed two players. They signed two
They signed
players.
two
They
players.
signed
They made
December.
signings.
But they didn't get any of the targets they actually wanted.
Mm.
They
That's
struggled.
they still signed
No,
someone.
man,
Like,
but Bentancur's a good is a decent midfielder. They let go of Ndombele and Lo Celso, but they got Bentancur. At least Bentancur is a good box to box midfielder, I feel. And Kulusevski was great at Atalanta, so I think
yes.
that is, guys. You let go of Aubameyang, guys.
It wasn't a bombing. We let go a lot of people. There were a lot to
Oh
let
yeah,
list. Yes.
Aubameyang,
Chambers.
Aubameyang, Chambers, Kolasinac,
Chambers doesn't count.
Mari. So they let go of four
Well,
players.
Murray doesn't count.
They let go of four
Maitland
players.
Niles gone.
17 players. They got rid of 17 players. Callum Chambers went to Villa. Your boy Callum.
Yeah, I think they should. But you see, they,
Oh yeah, but yeah, Bob's also right, guys. Because about West Ham, guys, West Ham put in 3 record bids, and all of them got rejected.
Unfortunately, they don't have the money that we have. We would have just doubled that and got them. So. But what was interesting, quickly before we carry on, Wonga. I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, guys. Carry on. That's never happened.
It's been a long day. It's okay. No
yeah.
worries. I think the title threw you off there. Lampard to Everton Lampard. So let's discuss this one. Obviously, we spoke about the Gerrard effect. Now we've got Lampard. Him getting the 2 deals in the likes of Dele Alli as well as the save,
Donny.
the Man United player. Yes.
Free
Donny.
Donny.
So he gets these 2 deals across the line. Obviously, we know his past record in terms of at Chelsea. There's a certain style in which he wants to play. We know you've already touched on the fact, very poor form at Everton right now. And technically speaking, if they keep going the way they're going, they are in a relegation fight. So how well suited is Lampard right now with the type of players he has signed to get them out of the situation that they're in? And this is the big concern that I'm worried, and I'm happy for being the Liverpool fan, but I'm asking generally in terms of Everton remaining a circus.
Guys, Richarlison is the most important player in that team, guys. If Richarlison is fit, they are good to go, because I feel him and Demarai Gray have been their best players this season. Because I remember there was a game where Richarlison came on after coming back from injury and he scored a bicycle kick or something, like, and obviously Calvert-Lewin's got bad injuries, guys. I think it's just obviously
He's also in bad form at the moment, huh?
Yeah, you see, so
missed the penalty.
Yeah, so
cost Benitez that game technically.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's
guys,
difficult for Lampard. I think if you're looking at, I'm just looking at what he had at Chelsea. I mean, the squad is it's complete. It's completely different. I mean, you can't even compare the two. But Chelsea, the thing is, I mean, he was doing well in the Champions League. They lost. They were good form, and then they just lost it. And I mean, that's obviously what lost him his job. And he wasn't able to get back on that. So the question now is, it'll be a bit different because now he's filling in someone's boots. Maybe it's maybe it's fresh air for the guys as well. Maybe someone that also relates to the players a bit more than what Benitez does.
So you think he'll have a Gerrard effect?
I don't know. I think when I look at some of the player managers, especially the ones that have been very successful in their careers, there is something. I mean, I think there's some sort of respect that the players have for these players. I mean, if you're looking at, the recent ones like Zidane, you're looking at Patrick Vieira as well with a Crystal Palace team.
Gerrard.
But I think if you look at it, and I think Wonga, you hitting the nail on the head. Like all these players that are playing now, especially the English players, for example, grew up watching Lampard play. They grew up watching Vieira play. They grew up watching Gerrard play. So I think there will be a design of a degree of effect that affects the change room from that point of view. But I think we mustn't also forget that Lampard's first job wasn't Chelsea. He has worked with lesser players in the past.
Which he failed to get them.
I forget.
Yeah, he did. But to also be fair, he got them into a position, and Derby were a mid-table team for very long. So
top six.
That's a very tough.
Cool.
That's a very, very tough sort of situation to get out of. And he got close. Yes, he did fail. You're right, Claudio. But I think he is used to working. Well, he will have the sort of history of knowing what to do in that situation. But I do think the effect will be very key if there is going to be some sort of a bounce. And it looks like he's making a few changes. He's bringing Ashley Cole in. It looks like he's just signed.
He came in, yeah.
To sort of be part of his background staff. But what's interesting for me is, obviously Benitez wasn't liked for obvious reasons, but Benitez has proven that he's won La Liga, he's won Champions Leagues, he's won Europa Leagues, he's done it. He's gone down to the Championship, he's got teams promoted. Maybe the players also need to look at themselves and say, hey, because that squad on paper shouldn't be.
But hang on, Nick. Is this not? I think we've touched on this fact in terms of that it's crazy. But when you look at the likes of a Benitez and the likes of a Mourinho, they are somewhat archaic now in comparison to what is expected for modern footballers. So now you wonder, look at the failures he had there, and Van Gaal largely at United, there was that sort of situation where they just didn't like the way in which they were handled because of how hardcore they were. So Benitez, off the bat, we know historically, if you listen to Gerrard, if you read his books, if you listen to Carragher, he's never been the one to put a warm arm around the shoulder. And it seems like it's a prerequisite for any professional manager in modern football to have at least two arms around these players, and then also tell them they look good in a fashion shoot to get the best out of them.
Yeah, but to be fair though, Claudio,
it's tough.
I think he was hard done by. He got one signing in Andros Townsend for free,
and Damari Gray,
for
$2 million.
$2 million. So let's be honest. Managers need to be given the tools. They blew all the money.
Dude, they fired his whole backroom staff. They fired all the not his whole room. They fired all the director of football to keep him there, and then a week later they sack him.
Marcel Brands,
Yeah. So, so you blaming Benitez?
No, I'm blaming the organizer, and I'm not a Benitez fan. I think I've voiced that often.
Can we go back in time and take that Champions League in Milan?
Against
Milan. Istanbul.
So how instrumental do you think he was in the Champions League win there at Istanbul, which he got the tactical 100%. That was all magic on that day. He got that wrong, and then he got
you to a final.
Guys, but final. So he signed it from group stage to final. Benitez did zero work.
I've seen him just also leave Liverpool in tatters.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
And I've seen the type of football he plays. Now I'm saying the type of football. Nothing wrong with results. If you get results, you get results, right? Nothing wrong with it.
While two La Ligas with Valencia, man, I'll always respect Benitez, bro.
Yeah, you get results, you get results. But the problem is I mean, Newcastle going to have this issue. Steve Bruce going there, for example. Okay, we can hardly allow him
He
to be
hasn't
in the
won
same
anything,
breath.
guys. He's about to
Yeah,
go to West
But
Brom.
my issue is there's an expectation. There's an expectation from fans, modern football fans in general now. And I mean, that's why Norwich get promoted and they're going back down again because they want to get promoted and they don't want to play. They want to play this sort of expansive football. Now you're looking at Everton, same situation. They're getting Lampard, and now it's not going to be a straight fix. Where in Benitez, yeah, he would have gotten you good results, but you need allowed to play out. But people don't want that. People don't want that. Players don't want that. Players don't like getting told, don't express yourself, do what I say. That's just not how the game's evolved. And this is where I'm saying it's tricky. Of course, Benitez, I think it's same as Mourinho. I think those guys are struggling now. I think they had their time in the sun. But I think it's going to be interesting as to where they pick up. And watch out Everton not getting, like, possibly in this race with Newcastle for relegation.
No, they must. Those older guys must go coach their national teams. I feel that they are more suited to national team coaching right now. And 100%. I said, Claudio, that because now Portugal's going to be playing Italy, and I'm favoring that Italy might beat knockout Portugal. Mourinho must take over from that guy whoever the coach is. I think Mourinho would do a better
dinosaur
job.
there. Another dinosaur.
But Mourinho would do a better job.
Yeah, because that's suited for him. That's suited for him because tournament football is very different to league football. Yes. And I suppose, and this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying with regards to Benitez. Yes, Champions League. Yes, 1 or 2 trophies. But when you watched him play out in a league, and I suppose that's why he was geared for Newcastle so well, because the expectation is let's survive. When you watch it in the league and you got certain players that now you need to take a talented player and say, let's unleash this guy. Let's try and do something here. Benitez is very by the book. Let's deny space. Let's keep the shape. Let's do what we do. And we wait for our one chance. And unfortunately, that's not what you do at a top side. And I'm saying this. Yeah, he did all right for Liverpool. But he got them to a point. And it was time in, time out that we saw it. And then also the amount of players he pissed off. He would sign a good player and would never play them. And then we'd lose them.
I hear what you mean. I hear what you mean.
And that's unfolded very quickly. Obviously, they've taken a Bunsen burner and they've taken gasoline and they've thrown in the mix there at Everton because he was a former Liverpool man. So he was never going to succeed at Everton. Never.
The thing is, I also just don't understand what Everton fans expect. I hate that.
They're delusional.
But I hate that question being asked by Newcastle to Newcastle fans. But we expect a team that tries. They've tried. They've spent in excess of like £600 million in the last 3-4 years.
Crazy.
So whoever's been spending the money and authorizing those deals is the one who should actually get bulleted. So at the end of the day, it's not. You can bring any manager in there. If your recruitment is poor, they've really had a go and they find themselves potentially in a relegation battle come Wednesday, if Newcastle beat them. And, at the moment, who's got the bounce? Newcastle's got the bounce. Maybe Everton will have a little bit of a bounce with the new signing Ali and Donny. But I would back us at home against Everton.
But I agree. I agree with what LG just said there. I think they have the quality in terms of footballers. Yes, obviously they lost. They're probably one of their best players in Luca Digne, but they do have the quality, guys. Damari has been phenomenal this season. Decore is injured and so on, but they got Alan in the midfield, so they've got the quality. They just need to be unlocked. And as I think Claudia said it perfectly there. They had the wrong manager, pragmatic manager. They needed someone who was trying to get on the front foot, who was trying to be expressive. You know what I mean? So let's see what.
But have you also noticed though? I don't think they've got the depth because when they get injuries, they struggle.
Yeah.
They struggle.
They should have shored up their defense. I don't know who's going to play left back now. They should have signed a left back.
They signed that Ukrainian boy. That's why Digne was allowed to leave.
Okay.
Asmir or something.
Yeah, it's got an interesting name. Go ahead, Wonga.
No, that's the goalkeeper.
No,
I'm looking here. This thing's not loading.
Nikolenko from Dynamo Kiev.
Okay, yeah, Mikolenko, Vitali.
Okay, it's Vitali.
Vitali. Right, gents. Well, enough of that. So overall, do we think it's going to be a success? Do we think it's going to work? LG saying yes. Pum saying yes.
I think he needs time. I think he needs time.
He'll need to stay up, and I think doing that, he just needs to stay up. I think that's the Lucas's objective, and I think he'll do that. If you have to be worse than the other teams, Norwich, Watford, and who's the last guys there?
Burnley and Newcastle.
No ways, he can't be that bad. I think his objective now is to stay up. If they're telling him to get into Europe, they're lying to him. That record that they have, that's ridiculous. He must just stay up, and then next season we can look at it. So I think staying up, he'll do it.
Yep. All right. Fair enough. Silo? Good, bad?
No. No, guys, I think he can only go up from here. They've drawn 1 in their last 5, guys. 1 in their last 5. That's rubbish. So I think he can only next 5 win 2 games. You know, that's already doing better than what the previous manager was doing.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. So tonight is the semi-final, second game of the semi-finals for the AFCON. We've got Senegal in the finals tonight. It is the host taking on Cameroon, taking on Egypt. Anyone brave enough here to firstly assess the tournament overall, players doing well, and then also tell us who they think's going to win?
Quality tournament in the from the knockout stages. Like I think it's probably better than the Euros from the knockout stages.
Listen, you didn't watch the game that Claudia and I watched because that was.
Oh yes.
I told you that was the worst game of football I've seen in years.
Mali versus Equatorial Guinea.
It was Equatorial Guinea versus
Mali.
Yeah, it was Mali. Yeah,
and Mali.
One of penalties.
Yeah, but you guys,
the penalties were good.
But you guys picked the wrong game, guys. Did you guys watch the game?
We didn't pick the game. TikTok picked the game for us, bro.
but did you guys watch yesterday's game, guys? I think Senegal's going to win the tournament. I think they've hit the form at the right point in time. They've got the best keeper in the world. They've got one of the best centre backs, and also Diallo from PSG is a half decent centre back. And I've been impressed with their left back. Alucis, and that guy's been very good on the left there with Mane. So I think, and Ismail Assar is back now. So I think Senegal will be champions, guys.
I have a feeling Egypt are gonna sneak this one. I don't know. I just have a feeling they're not favorites, but I just think there will be a moment of magic. And those Egyptians are crazy, eh? If they get to a final, it's like a lot of Al Ahly players will probably be in that squad. When they win finals when they get to finals. Those Egyptians, I wouldn't like to face them in the final, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
You guys gonna see Peroj lift the trophy?
No,
Roger
Nassar is suspended for 4 games, guys. That guy just likes to fight with people. Yeah, he's suspended for a fight in the last game against Morocco.
You joking?
Guys, I just saw him posting. He's focusing on his branding there, Roger Nassar. I've seen him post things. The guy Salah comes off and he's giving Salah a hug, but I can see Salah's not happy with the result. But he's like, "Come, where's the camera?"
He's trying to position himself for a move after, man. I would also do that, guys. As an assistant, you try to position yourself.
So if they make the final, he's not there.
He won't be on the bench. He'll be in the stands.
Really?
So he's four game ban, guys. I thought it was 1. It was supposed to be 1, and then it got extended.
Why were they fighting?
Ooh.
Nah, he was fighting. Him and another player were fighting with some guys from Morocco, guys.
Yeah, those Arabs. When the game's finished, even if the result's done, they'll fight, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, but
Now
Portuguese
Roger
are the
thinks-
same. Portuguese are the same. He's in the mix, boy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's quality.
But I think, guys,
We must get him on the show. We must get him to
must-
explain his AFCON experience.
But you must watch out. For Cameroon, guys. I know obviously most people are thinking about Mane and Salah. I think being at home, that last game, that was probably their best game defensively. Because other games they conceded about some lousy goals. But I think Cameroon wants to prove a point here and at home. And I think they want to win it for their country at home. I think what they've said 11 of the 32 AFCONs have been won by the hosts. So 11 of 32, guys. That's quite a decent ratio.
It's like a third of the games, more than a third.
Yeah, guys. So it's quite decent. So I
Who
think.
do you think's gonna win, Manga?
No, I agree with Silo. I think Senegal have a very, very, very strong chance of winning. A lot of good players there. They've also been playing well. Man, it looks like he's in a bit of form there. He got knocked out the other game.
He was out, eh?
Yeah, bro. KO. And then he had to wake up in hospital. But yeah, I agree with that. But then again, there's also the thing of Nick. I just think we know that if you like tournaments, dude, really, it's if you can. I mean, obviously the players that are playing at Egypt are, of high quality, but they can be. I think that just the willpower alone in them. They've been in many finals. You can see I think the whole badge is almost has stars all over it. They can cause an upset if they really feel like it. They'll fight.
That's it. The hardest work is
fight.
getting to the final. The final takes care of itself. As a coach, you can only influence as much as you can. It's up to the players. It's a special occasion. You might only get it once in your career, and you got to take it. So anything can happen. But I do predict a Senegal Egypt final.
Victory.
If I'm honest with
Senegal currently
They must go
according to
all
FIFA
the way.
rankings- Who Senegal?
They must go all the way. Then after, when they lose, Mane must get kicked or something, maybe injured for a couple of weeks.
You see
Salah
Arsenal
must,
tactics. You see this. This is the only way
Salah
they
must
hope
go
to get
celebrate.
results, 'cause
Salah
their
must go
club's such
celebrate
shambles.
there if they win, or vice versa if it happens the other way around. They must
You
go
come
out
back
as long
and
as
cause
possible.
friction. Is that what you want? They're gonna fly on the same flight back to Liverpool. Those two. You watch that. But Senegal are ranked 20th. Egypt are ranked 45th, and I think Cameroon are sitting on 50. So I think it is quite like Selo. I like the fact that
Is
you
that
touch
world
on
ranking?
the world FIFA ranking. So I like that you touch on the home effect, the home factor, because Cameroon know out of the three sides, they're not on the same level at this moment. So they're going to be trying to tap into those resources as much as they can. Whereas, they do have a Salah, they do have a Mane in those sort of situations. And on the day, they can be the difference, like Nick says, when the result takes care of itself.
Right.
But so overall, anyone brave enough to say home team goes all the way? Settles touched on it.
I say they'll be in the final.
That'd arguably be
Yeah,
the
it's
biggest
possible.
upsets out of the three teams remaining, no? Cameroon winning.
Mm.
Yeah, it will be
According
the
to
biggest
bookkeepers.
upset.
Cameroon. No, but Cameroon
to
are
the
second
fans.
favorites, I think. Cameroon are second favorites, from
Oh.
what I understand. Before the semi-finals, it was Senegal favorites, Cameroon second, Egypt, and then Burkina Faso.
Yeah, I think in terms of performance, how they performed, yeah, I think that's why they're probably second. Yeah, but I think, he's right. Does Egypt have goalkeepers? He's right. Egypt have their first two choice goalkeepers are both injured, so that's also another factor.
Factor.
Hey, you might see.
A very
Didn't Egypt-
inexperienced boy.
Didn't Egypt have that oldest keeper there? He was like 48 or whatever.
He's the goalkeeper coach.
Oh,
Hey,
he's the
and
coach.
he was good, eh?
Yes, yeah.
He was good until he retired.
The Al Ahly goalkeeper. I think he played like 160 caps or something.
That guy
Yes,
used
he
to
was
celebrate.
good.
He used to celebrate by sitting on the crossbar there.
Oh, the crossbar. Yes.
Mm.
I think, yeah, guys, that guy is a legend. Legendary.
They
guy.
should have
Nah,
just
he was good.
they should have registered him, man. Come on.
How old is he?
They
Probably
could
like
have.
50, man.
Could have.
Come on, man.
They should have. I'm
He's
sure they
probably
knew
like
someone who would let them. Call Pizzo. Not call Pizzo, man. Sorry, call the CAF president. What's his name? They give you the name. Patrice. Call Patrice. Get him in there.
But I remember Claudio when I forgot what I was going to say. Wonga, it's not all doom and gloom for you because you have a player familiar with. Jack Wilshere training with you, so you can always just sign him. As a
That
as an unattached player.
He's
Look,
done.
we're chuckling, but I think they'll have to do something like that. I'm sure he's probably pressing them and be like, "Hey guys, there's no one."
But the man even
Yeah.
the man even got to go on a trip to Dubai with him.
Oh, is
He
it?
even went.
Wow,
Yeah, he
nice.
went with him.
There was a
The
side,
man's
I
just
think, in
training.
France
That.
that turned him down, or someone there's in Italy that
But
refused to sign him.
he's yeah. I mean, the injuries didn't do him well. He's should be 29, 30 this year. 30 this year.
That's a shame, man. That's so sad.
Yeah, but he's also not old.
But it happens.
Outplay him.
Guys. But look,
Outplay him.
Balotelli's back, guys. Balotelli managed to get into the Italy squad, so Jack can get back in his football sorted.
Yeah,
guys.
but Balotelli's back in the Italy squad because of Mancini, no?
No,
That's
but at
always
least
been
he's
his boy.
but
That's
at
always
least
been his boy.
it's been his boy, but at least he scored some goals in the Turkish league.
Yep, at least. But also
Final
another
thoughts.
crazy. Yes, there we go, Wonga.
Claudio.
Calling it.
I was wanted to, we were talking about Cameroon. Then I don't know. I just saw this thing before we got on to the show. I saw something. Some guy. One of the players in Cameroon said that obviously Salah was he was good, but not as good as he. I'll just paraphrase what he said, but basically he said he's not that special. Yeah, he scores a lot of goals, but he doesn't do many things in the game. He said players like Mbappe, Mbappe is definitely much better than what he is. Obviously, he's playing mind games, I know, but I know this battle of Mbappe. Mbappe is he's a good player, but my question to you guys, just
Yes.
I know it's always going to be an argument now they do it, but who would you say, Mbappe or Haaland?
Or
If you don't
Haaland.
choose one.
Haaland, I'll go Haaland.
Haaland.
He'll score,
Nick?
score you more goals. Haaland, he'll score you more goals.
Yeah,
Haaland
I'm
will
the
score you
same.
goals.
But
Mbappe,
Mbappe is trying to be something.
he's,
Trying to be
Guys,
something. Haaland knows what he is.
Mbappe, yeah, he knows the scoring machine. Mbappe is confusing.
Mbappe spent too much time with Neymar. That's a problem.
Too much.
but
Far too
to be
much.
sure, to look, I mean, Mbappe is also his gold record's also heavy. Eh? It's not. I know Haaland is a game per game, but Mbappe's record is very, very, very close.
Haaland's
to that as
doing
well.
it in Bundesliga. Mbappe's doing it in the best team in France for how many years?
Who scored the most
No, I'm
goals in the
asking.
Champions League
I
this
agree with
season?
I agree with the Haaland one as well. I'll just ask him because I hear many people hyping Mbappe, but and more quiet about Haaland.
Mbappe
But
for
yeah, he's
me, I don't
definitely
know.
doing
Like
better.
I've seen him. It's when I've seen him in big games. He leaves me with a few question marks. Personally speaking, I could be wrong. I haven't
Yeah.
seen enough. But in
Yeah,
big games, I go,
You
well,
watch Champions League because that's the only real chance we get, and he doesn't really step up to the plate.
it's another factor as to why they don't cross that final hurdle, possibly. Right,
Yeah.
I like that one, though, Wonga. That was a nice final thought there. Nick, final thought, settle final thought, and then Wonga, we'll come back to you for one more final thought for God Save Arsenal, eh?
No,
All right, let's go.
I'm excited for tomorrow. We're hosting Chipper United in the last 32 of the Nedbank Cup, so I'll be
yes.
there
Oh, nice.
live on
See you guys.
SuperSport.
Yeah.
So
What time's kickoff so we can watch you on the
kickoff's
bench
at
there?
3. Nah, I'm not on the bench. I'm in the grandstands. I write notes and go into the change room later. So
Also, do
yeah.
you watch what Toki's doing on the field there?
Yeah, I'll just
because you play against them.
We'll see if their main striker is suspended, so we've planned around that. So yeah, I think there's an upset on the cards tomorrow, so that'll be quite nice.
You said
3
what time
o'clock on 3:00 on SuperSport PSL.
Oh, 3 o'clock.
Nick,
Okay.
Who's the head coach again at Tucks now?
Jan, have you gone blank?
Oh, Jan. Sorry, I wasn't sure if he was still head coach.
Yeah.
He's still head coach. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have gone blank. Yes. Selo?
Yeah. No, my final thoughts is, guys, all the best to Nick's team playing tomorrow. And yeah, guys, let's watch some FA Cup football for the teams that are still participating, not Newcastle. Yeah.
Wonga Denga.
Oh, and Wonga's also out. Flip, I forgot. It's only me and you, Claudio. Wonga's also out.
Yes, there we go. Wonga.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you want to say?
Arsenal only understand out at the moment, so I think that's the problem.
The exit door.
Yeah, look, I think you guys heard it before. I was happy the way we start. Like sad the way we started the season. Happy midway. December horrific. January it's absolute nightmare. And we're gonna have to try and get through that. So I don't know. I'm very worried about Arsenal at the moment. That's the honest truth. I don't see us keeping top. I won't be surprised. I just hope they do enough. Obviously, I doubt they can do that bad to go into relegation. I think they've got enough points to stay up. But we need to be getting into Europe, especially now. If you're gonna get, that's gonna affect the transfer window. It's just the knock-on effect is heavy if we don't get into Europe this year. The last thought. I just looked now. Haaland, interesting thing. He's played 14 games in Bundesliga. And remember, it's with Dortmund. He's not at Bayern Munich. He's got 14 games. I think he's been injured. 14 games. They're halfway through. That's actually correct. And 16 goals.
Yeah. So you can see,
what Champions League.
What LG says there. A higher work rate and a lot more clinical and more complete.
Yeah, he scores goals. I think Champions League, it's 1 goal less. The cup, he's got 4 goals in 2 games. That guy's ridiculous.
Did his dad not play for Man City as well? I think
his dad played for Man City. He's the guy who Roy Keane had a tackle where Roy Keane hit him on his knee.
His leg.
I remember that.
Yeah, that bad tackle that Roy Keane did. Yeah, that was his dad. Yeah,
Man City.
It's like Roy Keane.
Written in the stars. All right, gentlemen. I want to say thanks very much for joining us this evening. To everyone, for Pums, Bobbity Dorbo, LG, we got Nevada, and everyone else who was with us. Thank you very much.
Gents. Pray for Arsenal.
I saw Warren somewhere there. Yeah.
Thanks, Warren. Yep.
Warren.
And of course, we're going to be back to normal. So we'll be back on Tuesday to discuss things in the cool down there, Settle. So if you haven't followed it, you haven't liked, what?
Wonga, they say they're going to send you something strong, man. They say you guys, Arsenal fans, have been through a lot.
Pray for Arsenal, guys. There's nothing else that's going to sort us out. We need divine intervention. Like, I'm not even sure. There's nothing else.
Oh, man.
There's nothing else.
Oh, damn, no.
And
I
on
can't
that
see
note,
anything else happen.
we'll see everyone next week. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cool,
Peace.
cool. Cheers,
Cheers.
gents.